Hello, guys, and welcome to your Take Two Film Podcast, Oscars 2026 review and reaction. We obviously were talking about this preview on Friday. Uh, the Oscars happened just a few days ago. I don't know if you guys set up for it. I certainly did. It was
Half of
a
it I
decent
did.
evening. Yeah, you half did. Um, but
Fell
but
asleep.
it was a good
Sorry.
evening. Not sort of went near us. I thought there was a couple of shocks in there. A
Yeah,
couple of people I was so happy to see win.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a really interesting show.
Yeah, we'll
What are your
start
thoughts on
with
it,
some
Joe?
of the awards, and we'll go through, like, the performances and the memoriam as well, and
Yeah,
our opinions on some of, like, the comedy probably as well, but we'll mostly focus on if we thought we won or they were snubs and stuff like that. So we'll
yeah.
start with visual effects. Went to Avatar: Fire and Ash. That was very everyone knew it was gonna go to them. They've won at every other award ceremony, so it's good
Basically, the
for them.
Avatar Awards when they have a film.
Yep.
So
Then we
yeah,
got film editing, which not gonna lie, it could have gone to anyone, but it did go to one battle um, after
yeah.
another,
Well,
which is decent.
yeah, like I said, I thought on the prediction, I thought F1 had a chance at maybe sneaking it,
Mm.
as it did win a couple, I think a couple of the precursors. But no, one battle after another picked up the win. And it started a real well, we obviously didn't start the night, but we sort of knew, I think, from sort of then that one battle was probably the favorite going into the big ones. But we'll move on to what was then
The
some of the
trio,
technical
the
stuff.
trio
Yeah,
of Frankenstein, let's say production, Stein, makeup and hairstyling, and costume design, which all went to Frankenstein, which is understandable. They're good, but I was hoping that Sinners might have picked up makeup and hairstyling because some of the vampire creations are incredible, and I was hoping that would have
yeah.
done it, but
The
it's understandable.
the one with Jack O'Connell's one,
Mm.
that was incredible. But yeah, I think and also that you could sort of see, obviously, it makes sense considering how long he was in the makeup chair, but that bond between Jacob Elordi and his makeup team is brilliant, and that's what you
Yeah,
want to see
I
in
think it
film.
said,
And
like, over 12 hours a day he was in the makeup chair. I think over
yeah,
300 hours he was there, which is ridiculous.
mm,
We'll go to cinematography now, which is an incredible win for me, and I think everyone really personally for Sinners. Um, she hadn't been winning anywhere else, but she's the first ever woman to win an Academy Award for cinematography, and also this was the last category to not have a woman winner. So every category now has had a woman win in that category, which is so horrifying that it's took this long
yeah, we're in
because
2026, and it's
you were,
still yeah,
and I think Sinners, it's anyone who hasn't, who we talked about it in the last one, but who anyway, everyone who's seen it knows how good the cinematography is in that, especially that scene. But everyone in that category, all the cinematography is incredible. So, but she
yeah.
deserved it. And I loved how Ryan Coogler went over and picked up her son to hear him say it, which is pretty cool. I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah. And
Um,
if you and also, but it's also there's a category now where just the women's one. Obviously, we had our first best casting Oscar
yeah,
that happened yes or on Sunday. Sorry, and I thought it was a really good touch having each nominee have like one of their actors go in and talk about it. We had for casting, we had Paul Mescal for Hamlet, Gwyneth Paltrow for Mighty Supreme, Chase Infinity for One Battle, Wagner Moura for Secret Agent, and Daryl Lindo for Sinners. This went to one battle after another, which was pretty much a shock, really.
yeah.
I think a lot
I
of people
think
thought this would be a
personally it should
Sinners
have
win.
gone. I thought it was Sinners or Hamlet. I think the casting for Hamlet is incredible, especially the child actors. They
Yeah,
brought it, and I think, but I surprised Sinners because how they create that world with that cast is incredible of how they brought all those people together. I think it deserved it. It was quite a shock to me as well. But I'm hoping we still see some incredible ways when casting comes back as well next year.
yeah,
Because I think there's so many films this year, it's going to be stacked, and I feel like the casts are going to be good for that. Sound went to F1. It's won everywhere else. Don't really talk that much about it because it's won everything because the sound is incredible in that film. All right, we'll go to best music, so original song. So we had Golden, which did win, and it was going to be "I Lied to You" by Sinners, with the two front runners there, but Golden won. I think it was disgusting how they didn't allow them to finish their speech.
Yeah,
Um,
that
I,
was
I think that was
not
awful,
not good at all.
especially what happened last year as well, and letting people take as long as they want, and with the big ones, and not letting someone like that deserve and speak what they wanted to say. In my personal opinion, I lied to you deserved it. Obviously both performances were at the Oscars as well, and I believe that it was so powerful. I lied to you, and that whole performance at the Oscars as well is incredible. It's so
Yeah.
beautifully made. The whole different like tracks going together, like in the actual part of the film, bringing the dancers in. I think it was such beautifully done, and I wish it won, but we'll
Uh,
see. Then we go to
yeah,
yeah, go on.
yeah.
Say something.
Just before we do move on, I want to say on it because I think yeah, I expected Golden to win, and it is a great song. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, I would want I lied to you. I thought they but both performances were brilliant. The I lied to you was more of a cinematic showcase, whilst Golden was more of that big energy, which saw with the big light and things that everyone had. Um, but I think for me, like you say, I also think it should have had every song. I know it might have meant the show was longer, but then there's certain bits you could have cut
Mm.
if you want to keep it as it is. Because in my opinion, if you're nominated, you should be shown.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's just my opinion. But we'll move on
Oh, we'll
quickly
just say
to
one more thing. Diane Warren's count still goes ahead.
yeah,
Um,
that's 17 up now
yeah,
for
17
Diane.
0. Owen 17. But then you got best music original score goes to Sinners. It was expected. He's been winning everywhere else. But Ludwig Göransson is now 3 Oscars. And if people didn't know, he's only 2 Tony Awards away for being a double EGOT winner,
Yeah.
which
He's
is
not even an EGOT winner yet, but he's two away from double EGOT, and most likely he's gonna probably win again next year for the Odyssey.
yeah.
So
Because I
because
don't
he's
think
scoring
Zimmer,
that,
I think Zimmer won't get it for Dune because of the last one. It depends if they change the style when he actually puts in more of his of original music from a new one, new music compared to the first Dune Part One
yeah,
stuff. I think he won for Dune Part One. Um, but yeah, and then we'll go to the shorts. So we've got animated short, which went to Girl Who Cried Poles. I haven't seen a lot of these, so I just but with live action short, it went to two people. First time in over 10 years there's been a tie, and it went to the singers and two people exchanging saliva, which is mental because I completely forgot that could exist. All the
yeah.
times that I've been watching the Oscars personally, there's been no ties. So it's really interesting. I was just like shocked. But yeah.
I was really happy, even though I was really hoping a friend of Dorothy picked up the win.
Mm.
Um, I think the two friends exchanging saliva is one of my favorite shorts of the last few years. I think it was a really good premise. The whole thing of like basically that everything paid for through slaps, and like if you kiss with the basically it's illegal and you get killed. It was a really interesting premise and I really enjoyed that, and really good to see a win there for them. But really good to see that. Then we moved on to the documentaries, both massively powerful. First off, All the Empty Rooms, picked up the documentary short film and a really good talk, really by I've by they brought out one of the victim mother one of the victims mother's victims,
Mm.
and it was a really good thing about school shootings and how there
Because
is so many empty rooms.
it's so perplexed how this happens all the time in that country. And I
Yeah,
know this is getting a little bit political as well, UK wise as well, because Nigel Farage wants to do something with that as well, which is like what happened.
yeah,
We've banned complete handguns because of what happened in Dunblane in
yeah,
Scotland. Like, please. But that's why I mean, Nobody Else Putin is also a powerful documentary. Obviously, this is for documentary feature, which one? But in my opinion, I think The Perfect Neighbor should have won. I think that one was more powerful to me, and I think deserved it a bit. Another film about American policy, and obviously with the shooting, um, with about a shooting of a black man by a white woman with stand your ground laws, which is a
Yeah,
very powerful topic in America. We'll go international feature. It went to sentimental value. Everyone thought it was. It was either going to go to sentimental value or secret agent because they're the only two that are nominated any elsewhere.
elsewhere.
No, I mean it was. I think it was just an accident was nominated screenplay, um, but like
Yeah,
in
and
best
Surat was best sound
oh yeah,
as
but
well.
like best picture is what I was trying to
Yeah,
think for. Um, but yeah, they deserve that, and he brought everyone else on, which I really liked. Animated feature went to K-pop Demon Hunters. Nothing to talk about there. They thought
yeah.
they win. I loved
Well,
how she came out and said stuff about how it's nice to see people in her medium. Especially, I think people on Twitter and stuff were saying, "Oh, but you got all like about like Parasite and stuff with Korean stuff." But she was talking about animation because when people think of anime, they think of Japan, and they
yeah,
think of that when Korea makes some great animation.
yeah.
Um,
Also, another a thing to say with that, that's it's now 4 years since Disney or
mm,
Pixar have won
and that's Sony's
a
second win as well after Spider-Man, which in
yeah,
my opinion they should have three. Obviously, it lost to Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse lost to Boy in the Haran, but
yeah.
when is Across? When's the new one out? Is it 28?
2027, I think.
Oh,
And that depends on
We by the
delays.
way, I said this on Twitter to this guy once, and I was like, I was 11 when the first one came out. I'll be 21 when the last one comes out. Like
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
we were in
We
year eight.
were
We were
yeah,
in
we were
year
year
eight.
8 school, and now and by the time
Will we
it
finished
comes
uni
out,
by
we'd have finished university.
mental.
That is mental.
All right, we'll go
But,
to writing
yeah,
and adapted. One battle, one um one for adapted, and Sinners one for screenplay original. I mean, sorry. That was expected. They won everywhere else, both of them. I was excited though because Ryan Coogler, I would say, is my favorite director now working.
yeah,
Um, I love every single film he's made. Um, Personally, for me, Sinners is obviously my favorite from him now, but Creed is such a good sports drama. All agrees. This also includes Ludwig Göransson, but all of that music and that how it's created hypes me up. When I'm in the
yeah,
gym, I get running. I mean, one of the songs is conveniently called "Running," um, but it gets me hyped, and I think that is what's important for me. Um, is how they both do really well with that stuff. Um, and I think I think Kugler is going to be one of the best directors of all time, in my opinion,
yeah.
because
And
he does what he wants. He creates pieces that mean things, and that's what I love
yeah,
about it.
and also I'm very confident that we'll be talking about Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan like we talk about Martin Scorsese and Leonardo
Yeah,
DiCaprio.
100%.
Um,
I mean, um, I won't be surprised. We'll go to Michael B. Jordan in a second, anyway. But I
yeah.
won't be surprised if we see Michael Jordan be one of the acclaimed people to win both director and actor.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
He's got
Thomas
that
Crown
film he's
Affair
making after
in a
Crown
couple of
Affair, which I'm
this
very
year,
interested about.
and um, if he pulls that off, I could see him being nominated in both categories. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a quick look of has anyone won director
Yeah.
and actor.
While Drew Evans looks at that, we'll go on to Best Actress Supporting Role, which went to Amy Madigan, which I didn't think it would. Obviously, I really wanted it to, and I think I predicted it, but I
Yeah,
had that feeling
also,
that maybe we'll see a Tiana Taylor win here. Horror films aren't really a thing for the Academy a lot of the time. I thought Get Out should have won. I think Hereditary maybe
mm,
should have picked up a couple of wins a few years ago, but we did see a win for Weapons with Amy Madigan with her
oh,
first with an Oscar win, and really, really good to see.
I'm
And
so
something that,
happy.
yeah,
I'm a I'm I've loved horror since I was too young to be watching horror, but
yeah,
um,
same. Yeah.
like slashers got me into it. I mean, I'm gonna say Dead Meat, James A. Janice got me into horror with
Yeah. Same
Friday,
with me.
Scream, with um Nightmare on Elm Street, like those original slashers, and then I built in. Now you've got some great elevated horrors like Talk to Me, which is also incredible. The Akaraka Brothers, great create films, beautiful
Yeah.
films. Um, but Benny Magdalene's Weapons is so Zach Krieger. It's so weird how a guy that came up in comedy movies and like that and creates two amazing horror pieces of Barbarian and Weapons. And I'm really intrigued to see what he does with Resident Evil coming up. But go back to Amy Magdagan. She's only in the film for 15 minutes, but her presence is the whole film.
Yeah.
It's so creepy. And then also at the end, it's funny. Like we saw the gag at the start of the Oscars, with all the kids running through all the films. Most of the films for Best Picture, which I thought was really funny. I think that was the good piece. But yeah, 100%. Just with it, I was saying earlier, no one has won both director and actor in the same year. So there've been nominations, but no one's ever done
Yeah.
it yet. And I
Was Ben
could see.
Affleck one of them?
Um,
Sounds like a Ben Affleck thing.
I don't think Ben Affleck has. Clint Eastwood has. Um, Robert Benagano and Olivia Lawrence, Warren Beatty and Woody Allen. But I don't think anyone else has won. No one's done it. I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ben Affleck hasn't. He hasn't been nominated. It's funny how one of the only things he hasn't won, his brother has. Case in point.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
yeah, we'll go to best actor in supporting role. We'll go to Sean Penn. One battle after another. In my opinion, I don't think he deserved it. I think it should have gone to Delroy Lindo or Stellan Skarsgård. Also, he didn't go to there was a little jab at the end, where um, where the person presenting the award just said he couldn't be here or just didn't want to be.
Yeah,
So
well, he doesn't, does he?
I mean, he's one of the only people to be nominated to win three separate Oscar awards, which is mental. Um, but it's still a great performance, but I just think Delroy Lindo or Stellan Skarsgård should have won that. Even Jacob Elordi, his performance is incredible. Um, we'll go best actress in leading role went to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet.
Yeah,
It was a lock. No
I
one else thought. I loved her saying stuff about it. How talking about Mother's Day and stuff as well, which I loved, and the ending in Irish, which I loved as well. She's such an incredible actress. I love that she's finally getting her full praise.
yeah, I mean, I saw a amazing stat that Jessie Buckley won 42 awards for Best Actress, and that obviously includes critics and everything. But
Mm,
42,
bloody
42 she ended up with, which is mental. Um, but yeah, I'm so happy for her, and really, really good to see that happen. But we then moved on to director, which ended up going. Oh, sorry, say actor. Sorry, forgot about that.
mm,
Which, like you say, ended up being Michael B. Jordan. Really good to see him pick up the
yeah,
win.
100%.
We
I
we,
love.
we touched on a little bit earlier with Kugler, but 100%
I think
gonna
he's
be up there.
yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of his films. I think like Chronicle was the first thing I ever saw him in. Then you had Fruitvale Station, which is incredible. With fantastic. No, but first one I saw with him was Creed. Sorry.
Yeah,
I loved Chronicle as well. I think it was a really interesting take on superhero stuff. Fantastic Four obviously is not great. Then you got Black Panther. You played Killmonger, which is incredible, and then obviously um, Just Mercy, which is another one of my favorite films as well. It's one my favorite like kind of law film, which is great. But yeah, Thomas Crown Affair. He is 27, so I think he'll create a great project. And the cast of that film is incredible as well. He's got
yeah,
himself. He's playing Thomas Crown. He's playing the main character as well. But he's
yeah,
got Araja Arajonia, who's in those films. I can't remember. But you've got like Kenneth Branagh, Lily Gladstone, Aubrey Plaza, Papa Isadu. Like it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a really, really great, good piece from him. But if we go back to, it's just incredible in Sinners, and I'm so pleased he won. Um, it means that Timothy Chalamet has lost yet again. Still not get.
His
He'll
time will
get it.
come.
He'll get it his lifetime. I just hope
Yeah.
it's. I just hope it's not a Leo situation where he gets it for the weak one of his weaker films just because it's a legacy award.
I don't know because obviously he could not be nominated again next year for Dune. Like,
He
we're
hasn't.
gonna,
He hasn't had a nomination for Dune yet.
but you never know because it's a third film and it's a
Mm,
big one. You never know. But we'll
and
see how that
yeah,
goes. But then we moved on to Best Director, like expected. It went to PTA, who then also will just merge both director and picture,
yeah, they're
as
both.
PTA picked up 4 awards tonight.
Yeah,
Um, for screenplay, director, best pic. Oh, sorry, three best picture as well. Um,
it
but
is
to go
deserved.
to
It
yeah,
is
100%.
deserved.
How he's not been won before, like I've said before. I don't know how he's never won before, but
Yeah,
yeah, mental.
I mean, I mean, he's made some amazing Phantom Thread. There Will Be Blood. Like they're incredible films. How he's never won is so mental to me because I'm a big fan of a lot of his work. I think Licorice Peach is great. I love how Cooper Hoffman he brought out Cooper Hoffman because he was one of the reasons why he came into acting, which I loved because I think he's so good. And I'm obviously I know they don't like horror, but like I was so surprised how there was no Long Walk Club. I think it should have been nominated for casting in my opinion, but I think
Yeah,
I think he's just one of the best directors about. And I really liked how both wins in screenplay were both the directors, which showed this kind of auteurship might be coming back, which I love.
but
Um,
yeah,
when directors have passion for a project, and you kind of see that.
yeah. Um, Obviously we did see, like I say, PTA winning, and I think that's really good. And then the same for one battle after other. And then we're
Yeah,
going to talk about who was the big winner of the night. Was it Sinners? Probably one battle. No, who was the real winner of the night? It was Warner Brothers. They
yeah,
I want to talk a bit about
the
Michael
merger.
DeLuca and Pamela Abdi before we move on, and we sort of talk about some of the other stuff in the ceremony, and then like our plans for this podcast moving forward. But I think from when they started back, I believe it was 2019, 2022. Sorry, they became chairman of Warner Brothers Group for the motion picture division, and they took some big swings on some projects that I don't think any other studios probably would have taken a swing.
Yeah,
That being Sinners, that being One Battle, given giving them that opportunity, and it's worked out massively for them. And then you look at the other films. I think the only one that might have not taken that swing is The Bride. We don't know how much that's going to earn. We don't know how much acclaim it's been mixed lately. Um, but and then you've also got the big box office successes, include Sinners in that, the Minecraft movie, everything really. It's really shown that that Warner Brothers is it's a director led
which
studio, which is what we
I'm a
need.
bit annoyed about that they're trying to sell to Paramount.
Yeah, well,
It kind of makes me like you've got so many incredible pieces of work, and you're going to sell out to Paramount, who don't. I'm going to be in my opinion don't give as much people creative freedom. We saw with other films, we saw with Scream what's happened. I mean, that's more Skydance, but still, production company wise. But I'm, I think Warner Bros. Create, and then like DC, for instance, I don't think DC will be the same if they get moved to Paramount.
no,
I don't think he'll have more creative control than he has now. Like we've got some incredible. It's just like that for me, but um, I think Warner Bros. But I just want to have a quick thing of the In Memoriam section.
yeah, of course,
I think it was a powerful one. We've lost so many people this year, last year, um, and nearly teared me up a couple times. I mean, I wish like Val Kilmer had a bit more of a dedication, um,
yeah,
but I think the end and the start were just incredible. I mean, we lost like Rob Reiner, for instance, who shouldn't have died at that, especially because I mean, obviously he's still in court cases and stuff.
It's
Obviously,
it's alleged, and
alleged that
will
his son killed him, and
yeah, that's very much alleged,
yeah,
and obviously we're gonna let the court do that
court decide that.
as
But still, we lost someone has created some of the best films. Like, and he doesn't just stick to a script. I mean, he starts off with a mockumentary, then does like mythical act fantasy, then does, and then before that does like a coming of age drama, then goes, oh, everyone knows him for romance and stuff like that, then does Misery, and
yeah,
and then and then obviously he hadn't done as much, but then he made Spinal Tap 2. Like, he came back to something which is incredible, and and then obviously we lost the originator of Sundance, Robert Redford, Val
yeah,
Kilmer, who I grew up on through my dad. Like Top Gun, which is incredible. Obviously,
yeah,
he played
um,
Batman in the sequels and stuff in Batman
yeah.
Forever.
I
Um,
I want to talk more about obviously Robert Redford. There was a really good thing from Barbara Streisand. Also, I believe that's the first time she has sung live in over 10 and a bit years, I think.
mm,
And really good in that moment, and that made me tear.
yeah,
And really good for Rachel McAdams with Diane Keaton as well, and a really, really good segment, and I really liked it.
yeah,
And that's a way how you do a Morium segment, and you know, there was yeah. But I thought overall it was a pretty good Oscars ceremony.
yeah. I
They
would say.
always take an age.
I mean,
I think
it was
there
a
was some
tad bit.
bits I didn't like,
Yeah,
including that I think the bridesmaids thing was too long.
yeah,
Um, I think that should have taken way less time, and you could have given that more to some of the original songs to be used. Um, and I'll be interested to see when we know that we're in the last few years of the Oscars being on terrestrial telly or network telly if you're in the US, or basically normal TV. Because we
yeah,
know in 2029, I believe,
yeah,
um, the Oscars will move to YouTube, so they want to have a restriction on time. We do not know what does that mean. Are they going to start earlier? Are they going to start later? Or are they gonna go on longer? I don't know what the plan is for when it moves to YouTube.
yeah,
I think Conan O'Brien, though, by the way, is an incredible host again. I think like we talked about earlier. I think the actual the cold open I think was really good.
yeah,
Really, really fun way of sort of incorporating all of the big films of the year, and the films being awarded that night.
mm,
And I'll be honest with you, I'll be completely happy him doing another year because he's brilliant.
yeah, 100%. I think he just creates that very comedic and changes it. Like when we had Jimmy Kimmel, it was very boring and to the point. Uh,
Yeah.
I think with it's 100% a bit better. But yeah, if we go now into our plans for the future of the this channel, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a weekly podcast on like a Tuesday, Wednesday times where we talk about news, current events, and our opinions on them, and then
And
we'll
that
do
will
our
also include films we've watched over the
yeah,
past few days. That's streaming films or TV shows.
yeah,
That's films in the cinema. I know that I will look into go and see Ready or Not
yeah, 100% same.
this week, which will this weekend. Also, from June onwards, for the rest of the summer, there'll be a lot more films we'll do together because as a uni student, I'm very busy the next weeks. I'm still going to attend cinema and I'm still going to be able to hopefully get to some shows. But like I
Yeah.
say, there might be a few less
Yeah,
times, but
I've got filming and editing to do, but I'm a bit more free that time wise, and I've got a Cineworld kind of ish nearby me right now to go to cinemas and stuff. Like Ready or Not, there's loads of films I still need to see, but we will. We'll do reviews, and then we'll have an additional episode every week where we just discuss what a type of thing we want to do that week. Like we'll have childhood films for us, like
yeah,
favorite directors and their kind of pieces we enjoy, and other just fun stuff. We might do like halfway through our favorite films of the year, half year and stuff like that. And we might have like
yeah.
a we might have like an actor led one where we talk about that, but like just our opinions
I,
on that.
I and for you guys watching, if you're wanting to make your own list for us to do, if that's certain franchise films, if that's maybe films by a certain actor, that's films by a certain franchise, filmed by a certain studio. Um, Maybe, like I say, films we'll do at the end of the year, we'll do films we're most anticipated for as well in the next year or stuff like that. But we'll make that closer to the time. But we're going to look to do two a week for you guys and keeping you guys all up to date on film news and knowledge and be really, really good for you guys. But yeah, thank you all. If that's everything I think we're going to talk about today, thank
Yeah,
you all for watching. We've done a really good first few ones talking about the Oscars and everything in general. I'm really happy to continue this
yeah,
as we hope to sort of keep you guys up to date with everything film and entertain you guys. But until
yeah.
then, thank you all for watching.
And
And
support indie cinema.